you can see everything that's happening in the dry valleys, because it's the largest area in the entire continent without an ice cover. It's about 4,000 square kilometers. The rest of the continent has 2.5 miles of ice on it. So it's a pretty good place for a biologist to be, especially if you like the outdoors. It's not a bad job, is it?
I grew up in the Southwest, southern Nevada. This is just like southern Nevada. It's like walking through the desert. So I've always been really comfortable without a lot of vegetation and light, you know.
As a biologist in general, you know, you want to make discoveries. I think the goal of any scientist would be to make a discovery that is groundbreaking, and here's where that happens. It's down here. Every time you turn around, there's something different, and what you have to do is back off and kind of see the trees through the forest and look at the simple things, and you'll find life all over.
This is kind of like, I always think this is the forest of the dry valleys. This is a Phrymidium type blue-green algae. They're not quite lyophilized, but in another 3 months they'd be totally crisp. And then you can add water, and in about 15 minutes all the enzymes work again. Pretty wild.
I'm looking at the diversity in them. I'm looking what kind of cyanobacteria and bacteria are forming those mats. And I'm interested if they're connected by the wind, if they could be dispersed from one of the valleys to the other one, or if each of the valley has a kind of if these mats have a unique species composition.
Hello!
We get out there by 5, looking not quite alive, but the whole needs to be chipped together. Why do you take so long?
Lakes like these in Antarctica are excellent laboratories because they are so contained. Very often you don't get inputs of carbon from outside because there's no plants and animals roaming around outside putting carbon into the lake. So everything in terms of carbon and nutrients within the water is recycled within it. So that's unique. We can use it as a little laboratory to study how these nutrients and carbon are recycled.
We're on Lake Vanda, which is one of the deepest lakes out here. There's actually 23 degrees, this is centigrade, but very warm, more than room temperature water under here, about 60 meters down.
2, 3, 4, 55.
It has very, very clear ice, and the idea is very clear water, and so just solar radiation gets down there. It's sort of like solar heating in a house or a solar hot water heater.
In many ways, the polar regions of the world, the Arctic and the Antarctic, are barometers for climate change. So you can look at how small-scale changes in temperature, for example, change food webs and nutrient and carbon cycling, and that can be applied. So this is a great place to do that too.
I plotted up some light data from 3 days ago, from under the ice, 10 meters under the ice in Lake Bonny. And the light is down about 50 times over what it is in the midsummer. And it only exists for about 6 hours a day now. The experiment's happening, and we're starting to see signs that the algae are switching over to eating bacteria instead of using solar radiation. So it was a hypothesis, and it seems to be working for survival. I think everybody had a great time, and I think one reason we did is because of the discovery-based nature of this project. We were out here discovering every day.